Welcome to the VOR Watchman Report, reporting the news as it happens, discussing controversial issues that affect you, others, and the future, dedicated to finding strategies and answers in the world gone mad. And now, here is the VOR Watchman Report. Isaac with the VOR Watchman Report. Thank you for joining me today on this brand new newscast. As we have been releasing these weekly, you want to find out how you can connect, go to thevor.net. You can listen to our first program, which was talking about propaganda and war. Then we went into exposing corruption in high levels of leadership in nations, and how we can weed out and understand that we must do what is right and just. We're going to talk about issues that concern you and your future. As we move into the future, as we move into the coming days, we're moving into times where within the next 5 to 10 years, everything is going to look so completely different. It's going to shift completely. There's going to be a paradigm shift. There's going to be a global shift. Everyone is talking about AI, technology. We have come into what is called the fourth industrial revolution. Today, I want to talk about the rise of the digital gods in artificial intelligence. The rise of the digital gods. Is it benevolent or is it sinister? What would it lead to? AI in artificial intelligence. What would the role be of AI on a global scale? Will it lead to a war against humans and machines? This and other questions will be answered in the latest report, The Rise of the Digital Gods. When we thought that this talk about artificial intelligence maybe a few years ago was just something that what people were talking about. This has been taking place under our nose all this time. Our Siri, our Alexa, Google search engine, Google Maps, all of these apps that we use artificial intelligence. YouTube uses this algorithm. It's this program that tries to find out what do you like, what are the likes that you have, and what videos you like, and they try to use this algorithm to see what the public likes. Talk about transhumanism or robotic automation was just a talk of conspiracy, but the reality is it's been something in the works for some time. And now just put in the word artificial intelligence in the Google search engine, you'll find this is no longer the case. We are headed into a transhuman society. What is transhuman? It is when humans connect with machine. The goal is what? The goal is immortality. This is the whole point of this globalism, this global push. We're heading to a different world that will be a dystopian future where humans are no longer the dominant species. That sounds like some type of doomsday report, but this is the facts. That's why we're talking about AI, the rise of the digital gods. In recent years, these trends were popular online that talked about artificial intelligence. It became the talk. As the technology grew, the creative industry, the arts to business and marketing began to utilize this technology to speed up the process of doing work. And you know what's going to take place within the next 5 to 10 years. This is going to take the place of many people in the workforce. The point is to get these machines to do what humans do. And that is going to cut down the cost of companies having to pay people. Wow. This is not something that is just crazy. No, this is becoming a reality. Decades ago, technology would double every 20 to 30 years, but now it doubles every 15 months. Think about it. The technology is doubling every 15 months, and probably it's even doubling even more now. Like in the 1950s, it would take 20, 30 years to get to this. That's why this is the fourth industrial revolution. The first revolution that we had was the machine revolution, where The first industrial revolution where they created machines, it was a mechanical one to manufacture goods. Then came the second industrial revolution with electricity. This is where Thomas Edison and the names like Nikola Tesla came into picture. Then we came into the third revolution, which was the digital revolution. And we shifted to electronics and computers. And now we are at the last industrial revolution. And it's AI, artificial intelligence driven by big data, quantum computing, nanotechnology, genetic modification, and robots. Think about this. This last industrial revolution will be a dehumanized one. It's not going to be natural. In fact, it's going to be from manpower to robot power to machine power. Where the man was running the machines, no, the machines are going to be doing the work. All to the point that those who want this revolution know that it's all about creating God in their own image by their own doing. And you know what? That's going to lead. This is why the world is going in this direction. That's why everything that was abnormal is becoming normal. This sounds like the science fiction movies we grew up with, right? The Terminator, Blade Runner, Short Circuit, Minority Report. All of these different science fiction movies were conditioning us for what is upon us now. And now we are here. We thought by watching and thinking that this is future generations. It's not going to happen in our time, but it's caught up. And now we are here. The fourth industrial revolution is not mechanic, but robotic, where robots will be running the world. How can that be? Because when technology is put in the wrong hands, it can become a beast. It can be used for good or it can be used for evil. So we are putting our future in the globalists, thinking about this, the digital gods, the rise of the digital gods. We're going to address these issues that affect the globe and give solutions that will prepare you to take action on these issues. So we're talking about AI, the rise of digital gods. Since its conception, people have worried about a time when machines would turn against humanity, known as artificial intelligence. Not long ago, it was thought of what we saw in movies like I was talking about, the Terminator, thinking that was too far-fetched. But the reality is, just in the recent coming years, it is now front and center news. The technology has always been here, from our Android phones to Siri, to Alexa, to our iPhones, to Google, and every other app that is connected to this. Most of what we see on social media is done by non-human stringers using algorithms that produce feeds of news, entertainment, and what they think you like. What is artificial intelligence? AI, many just call it AI. It is a technology that utilizes machines, robots to think, act, and do what humans can do. Some are narrow AI, which do one task only, and some are complex. But the goal is to become an ASI, meaning an artificial super intelligent machine. You will see more and more robots being groomed and put in with real people to communicate, interact, and assimilate into the culture. This is already happening in China. They already are using this technology. That's why I call it the rise of the digital gods, because this is going to become a new religion, the quest for humanity to become like God. Let me say this, a new war is coming in the near future. It's not with weapons of mass destruction, but an army of robotic soldiers who are programmed to kill, to turn against humanity and depopulate the planet. Sounds like a conspiracy theory, no? But it's not. This is the goal of those who are leading this charge to a one world order and the rise of the beast. The future of AI, it will change every industry and life around us. Is this technology something we want? What if there's a more sinister agenda for AI technology? Are we allowing ourselves to be controlled by technology more and more each day? Our data and information is posted online. We think it's harmless because we're a lazy society. The reality is we want robots driving our cars, doing our chores, doing the work we should be doing. But you know what's going to happen? It's going to lead to a jobless apocalypse. We saw it in the movies and thought, that would be cool. No, but it's no longer science fiction or fiction. It's become reality. In China, because of their depleting population, robots are being integrated into society. What was a dystopian science fiction is now reality. You see, in China, they have an aging population. The aging population of China has them worried that there will not be enough young people to take over the aging population. So their answer is to build more robots to speed up production. This is what happens even in America, where they believe that we got to keep the population down. So what do? We have abortion, we have euthanasia to curb population. I'm going to talk about that later on, about depopulating the earth. What the whole agenda, the global agenda is. That's why they want robots. This is crazy, no? This is the VOR Watchman Report. You're not going to get any information like this. That's why you need to tune in to the VOR Watchman Report. Get connected to our podcasts. Get connected to our audio podcasts. And we're also releasing short snippets, newscast type videos that are on our YouTube channel that will get you up to par of what's happening in the world. We need to be prepared. The whole point is not to just give you information. What can we do? How can we have a plan? How can we go through these crises? How can we go through these storms and still make it through? That is the purpose of the VOR Watchman Report. Today, we're talking about the rise of the digital gods. I think we're going to probably just do this first program, and then we're going to just go on to more, because this is a part of the end times. Many want to dish the Bible, but the Bible has prophesied many of these things that were coming, that there was going to be a one world government. There was going to be a one world currency. There was going to be a one world religion, and that there would be an image to the beast. We're going to talk about that in our next program. I'm not going there yet, but we're moving there. I remember in 2001, I read a book called The Coming Digital God by an author. I believe his name is Anno Reese. He prophesied a time coming when man would be so advanced in technology that he would worship a digital God made in the image of man, but it would be a hybrid. It would be made up of machine and humanity. It's a cyborg. It will be overtaken by the prince and power of the air. That's the Antichrist. Elon Musk said something that has many concern, that artificial intelligence is all about summoning the demon. What does it mean? When you're talking about summoning the demon, we're talking about open up the Pandora box. We're opening up something that is going to bring destruction. Even when it comes to producing these programs, a lot of people will say, let's just let the AI take care of it for us. But then we lose the creativity. We give the machines all the things to do. And what is it going to do? It's shutting down the music industry. It's shutting down the production companies that used to do all the content creation. Now we're putting it in the hands of computers because we're lazy, because we want it done quicker. We need more content. We need more content. We need more content. We get content overload, and we're pushing ourselves out of jobs. Not much was written on this subject years ago, and it was always connected to conspiracy theories, fringe groups, and what believers thought were quacks, people that were off their rocker. What are you talking about? They were telling us this was coming. Like most of the prophets of doomsday, most of the prophets who tell you something is coming, but we ignore them. We tell them, oh, that's not true. We don't believe it. You know when we really start believing it? When it's right there at our doorstep. When it's right there ready to come into your home. When it's right there looking at you face to face. Now you're going to believe the Watchman report. Now you're going to believe the VOR Watchman report. Another team, they have this ministry called Skywatch. The late Thomas Horn, he passed away maybe a couple of years ago, but he has a work that they're doing where they're addressing and writing about this for some time now. And most of the church viewed them as lunatics, conspiracy crackpots, but they have been warning and addressing this since 2001 when their first book, Forbidden Gateways, was written. It caused such a stir. Since then, Defenders Publishing has produced several books on the subject. I recommend you do some reading. There's another book by Alan DiDio. It's called Summoning the Demon, AI, Aliens, and the Antichrist. Here's another one by Perry Stone, Artificial Intelligence versus God. There are tons of information on artificial intelligence, all about this new wave, new utopian world that we're moving into. But what I'm doing, I'm giving you an alternative. I want you to see from a different perspective. I don't want you to just see it as this information, but we need to look into this and search it for ourselves. Many say it's coming so fast. The reality is technology. It's always been here. Think of the technology we use today. Like I was talking about Google Maps, all the social media platforms, they use AI algorithms to monitor, search, and make people buy and put out more content they like. No longer are humans doing the thinking, but robots, machines that think for us. If you go searching online, maybe searching at Academy or something, and then all of a sudden you go to Facebook, an ad for Academy or an ad that you were just looking at pops up on your social media feed. Now, how did that happen? What are they doing? They're watching and going and finding what you want and try to see if they can pull you in. That's why our technology can blind us. Our technology can get so advanced that we lose track of reality. We're letting robots do the thinking for us. That's going to be the problem. We're just going to be like the Matrix, right? He had to disconnect himself from the machine, from that system. We have to disconnect ourselves from that system. The goal is to make everything easier and convenient by letting AI technology do the work for us and save time. But is this a good idea? This kind of technology will blur what is real and what is not. Technology is a beast. The Lord gave me that a couple of years ago, talking about technology is a beast. And he began to show me how it's going to connect to the coming Antichrist. This is something that people looked into the Bible. Even people who don't believe the Bible talk about this. There's going to come this global leader who is going to convince the whole world to follow him. Let me tell you how they're going to follow him. And let me tell you how everyone is going to believe it is because it's all connected to technology. It's all connected to computers, machines. It's all going to be about everything digital. Algorithms are a set of instructions that tell the computer what to do. The digital is run by code, zeros and ones. The point is this: companies are going to downsize and give jobs and work to machines that don't complain, don't need to be given a paycheck, cheap labor, and do away with a large portion of the working force. You don't believe me? Watch, you will see this trend come quickly. There is also what we call the transhuman resistance. In the next coming years, you're going to see a resistance against the transhuman movement. It is here, and most of the church is not addressing it. And that is why I'm doing the VOR Watchman Report. You see a group of prophetic voices are sounding the alarm, and we're going to take action. So here's how it's going to look. A new war is coming in the near future. It's not with weapons of mass destruction, but an army of robotic soldiers who are programmed to kill, to turn against humanity and depopulate the planet. I'm sure you said that sounds like some type of science fiction movie that we've seen. Yeah, it sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's not. This is the goal of those who are leading this charge to a one world order and the rise of the beast. What is transhumanism? Transhumanism is the ethical use of technology to expand our abilities from the human to the post-human, where machine merges with humanity. You have cyborgs, military projects, and what we call super soldiers. Eventually, this is the point, man will give up its freedoms to be connected to a machine that knows what they want, like, desire, dream of in one connected web. The ghost and machine, the chat bots, Siri, Alexa, monitoring. This is leading to a surveillance society. It's all leading to what they call the singularity. Singularity is the device that connects to the brain. They believe it's fast and it can compute all human life at once. This is beast technology. You see, Satan is going to use this technology that's being created by fallen ones to take over the world in attempt to make one last strike at the throne of God. AI, the rise of the digital gods. We have so much more to share, but I think we have enough right there to end our program. If you're liking what you hear on the VOR Watchman Report, then tune in at the VOR.net. We are a network bringing you revival, prophecy, and the news. Training and equipping people for the coming days. You'll find blogs, you'll find audio podcasts, you'll be connected to our videos, and you'll find a way how you can be a part of helping us. My whole point is to begin bringing these issues and sharing them. I do have a word, but I'm not going to share it right now. But it's going to be connected. I'm going to bring it on my next program when we're going to continue talking about the rise of the digital gods. We need to understand this topic because it is going to be front and center in the next coming years, not just in the next 20 years. It's going to be less than that because it's already here. And people will accept this. They're going to think it's something great. They're going to think that it's something that we should all be a part of. But let's look at the cons. Let's look at the pros and the cons, and let's make the decision. Is it benevolent or is it sinister? The rise of the digital gods, artificial intelligence. Well, thank you for listening to the VOR Watchman Report. We will continue to keep bringing you these programs every week. Every week we will have a brand new show. Maybe we may do two and put them out every week. We may do one or two programs, release them. We'll also do some short segments that will be on our YouTube channel, the VOR Network, or the Voice of Revival. But the whole point of this is to bring you something different, an alternative, so that we can share this information, so that we can get the word out. I don't just want to give you this information, but I'm sure that many people already know about this. But what is the solution? That is the next thing we're going to talk about on the next broadcast. We have many programs that are coming up. We're going to be talking about the domino collapse. We're going to be talking about civil wars, border wars, and world wars. We have so many different topics that we're addressing, and this is just the beginning. Help us get the word out by connecting this program to other people that will love to hear and know and get educated and be on top of what's coming. You're going to know what's happening before it happens here at the VOR Watchman Report. We are on top of things, and we don't want you to be left in the dark. Isaac Gabriel with the VOR Watchman Report will coming back again with a new broadcast to be able to take action in the world gone mad. Until next time, God bless. Bye-bye.